I want to give some great advice that not a lot of people are giving when it comes to protein and building muscle. There's a take on it that you haven't considered. I work with beginners, moms, a lot of dads that come in, guys that want to build muscle, and hard gainers. All of these are the type of people I work with in masses. So a lot of unique people with different challenges. So my experience probably covers something that you're tackling personally right now. And in my experience with so many different clientele and getting them results, taking a protein powder is not a priority for them. Now, myself personally, I haven't made a priority of drinking a protein powder. I've had the least amount of protein powder in the recent history that I have ever. I've always taken protein. That's like the foundation. You take protein and then you take all the other stuff. In my experience, beginners are more than happy to take this, take that, buy this, buy that. But there's steps you have to take to make sure that your protein and muscle building tactics are even going to be effective. You should not be taking protein powder as a beginner. What you should be doing, what I've been doing, is bumping up the protein that I'm eating dramatically. I've seen some science that came out, and I had just learned this only recently, that certain types of protein, food protein, like eggs, fish, poultry, red meat, stuff like that, all the stuff we love and know that it's gonna build muscle. I've been consistently cutting down and building muscle at the same time, and I've had the least amount of protein recently. And why is it working is because first I'm trying to bump up the amount of eggs I'm eating. I usually do 4 or 5 in an omelet when I'm making it. You look at the calories on eggs and you're like, whoa, what happened if I ate 10 eggs right now? What would happen? I don't think I could even eat 10 eggs. That's crazy. First off, and I look at it, it's like 700 calories. I'm like, first off, I have little bars that I can eat that are all 700 calories, but you tell me I eat this omelet that's that many eggs? Okay, so eggs aren't really a calorie concern. But then you go look at the science of how much protein is in those particular meats. That's great. But what that protein does to your body when it breaks down inside your body, what does it do? Now, it's been shown that eggs specifically are the highest. Protein powder is one of the lowest, but eggs the highest, and much lower would be red meats, fish, poultry, all the other good stuff that I thought was first. But protein that breaks down your body and becomes muscle tissue specifically is contributing to helping with your muscle tissue regrowth. That's what we want, protein. That's why I took protein powder. Eggs are at the highest on the list of about 48% of the grams of protein actually go toward building muscle. That's the only amount I care about, is the amount that actually goes toward your goal. Remember that. So many beginners go, oh, this one's got 40 grams of protein. This one's got 60 grams of protein if I take 2 scoops, or this amount of protein, this amount of protein, low fat, this, that. It's irrelevant if when you put it in your body only absorbs 12% of that and turns it into muscle mass. So you got to look at the science. And yes, I will. I'll post the articles that I found out about these eggs recently. I've completely changed, and there's no science. These studies also state that there's no science that shows that eggs, a whole egg, never egg whites, a whole egg, that it contributes to your bad cholesterol. There's no evidence, significant evidence, that shows it contributes to your bad cholesterol. Yes, it does contribute to your good cholesterol. And if you don't have good cholesterol, that's a precursor. It creates testosterone. Wow, okay, so we've been avoiding egg whites. Those will spike your insulin in a way that you don't want. An egg is a perfect source of protein for you. That's the first thing you need to understand, is that the fat balance. Protein powders, they always boast low fat, but this is actually very bad, because now your protein powder is actually spiking your insulin, and a lot of that protein could be converted into glucose and glycogen and not being used for what we're taking it for. So this is important. The fat that's in an egg, it helps with the good cholesterol, which helps your body create and produce testosterone, growth hormones. These are the things our guys and women need to produce more of if we want to build muscle. It's important to know that. A whole egg, the fat that's in next to the protein, right? Egg white and the yolk together is a perfect mixture to allow that protein to digest properly. If you don't have the presence of fat, a protein will not digest properly, if at all. A lot of protein y'all are taking, you're shitting out Okay, it's important to know that. Super important to know that, because we're not gonna do an action repeatedly thinking we're gonna get a result, but all along your action is flawed. It's super important to remember that. So an egg, when I learned this personally, I'm just giving stuff I'm doing in my life. It's been giving me great results, and I want to share it with the team. That's all this is. I mean, you take my advice for a grain of salt, or you can just go back to taking your favorite brand name protein powder. I still buy them. Honestly, I've been out and I just haven't gotten around to it. The amount of eggs and red meat, and I do a lot of fish now, those things that I've been eating have really skyrocketed. And I think I've gotten better results off of not really even focusing on protein powder. There is one caveat. I am testing out my own BCAAs. You know, we're trying to develop a BCAAs. I've got different flavorings I got to come up with, you know, and I'm the guinea pig. And that's kind of what protein breaks down into your body, is branched chain amino acids. Those are things I am taking regularly, and they're fruity. Like, most of those products are fruity. I have a well-known brand name product that I've been drinking in the meantime, and then I've been testing out my own because I want to get the flavors just right, so that obviously this is something I'm passionate about and I want to share to you. So I have been taking branched chain amino acids, and I do suggest you do as well. Protein powder is not just the psychology behind a beginner. They always start with protein powder. You know, these are people I work with on a lot of them. I work with a lot of these individuals on a regular basis, and they're like, "Oh, what protein should I buy? I got to do a protein." It's like, first off, you're eating twice as many calories as you should. That's your number one concern. Cut your calories and get your shit in check. Second is the amount of carbs spiking your insulin. Your body is not going to be in let's build muscle mode ever. It don't matter really how much protein you have if you're always in a catabolic state. Carbs, your sugar should go down, damn near down to zero. Why are we eating candies and ice creams and stuff on a regular basis? Even just a little bit each day is unacceptable, especially if you want results for yourself. If you don't care about that, I'm not going to pass judgment. That's irrelevant. These people, you, the team, who want to build muscle, who want to get results, who want to stimulate their metabolism, look better, feel better, got to stop spiking your insulin like that. First priority on that is sugar's got to go. Almost all of it. If you look at it and say that's sugar, it's got to go. A lot of the fruits I've cut down as well, but that's a different subject altogether. Carbs you got to cut down in half, but not all the way, because that's a good fuel source for intense exercise. You need good carbohydrates. But sugars are not a necessary thing. Cut those out. You'll be surprised what your hormones do, how good your sleep gets when you start cutting out sugar. So sugar, carbs, because that's a bad effect on insulin. And all of this, cutting out some of those things, those excesses in your life, is probably going to really help you get your calories in check. So it all helps each other. Get your calories in check so you can start losing weight. You should not have excess body fat at all. You shouldn't be over 20%. Guys, you shouldn't be over 15%. There's no need for that. And you probably are, and that's a normal thing these days. Let's work toward getting down. I think I'm at 11 or something. Nothing too crazy or even impressive, but I'm working on it as well. These are the things that I'm doing. Protein powder, and the psychology behind someone that says, no, I don't want to start with a rigorous training program. I don't want to start cutting out my diet and stop drinking alcohol every damn day, like obvious problems. What they want to start with is, how do I buy something and how do I take something? That's a very bad mentality. That's a loser's mentality. You're setting yourself up to lose. You got to know that in hard work we trust. You work hard and you get your diet in check. Those two things. Now, if you can take supplements that help with those two things, like a pre-workout supplement, it's going to help you work harder, obviously. A fat burner, it's going to help you work harder, and it's going to get your diet in check if it's got appetite suppressant type stuff in it. And when it comes to recovery, those branched chain amino acids, but I prefer, well, I'm going to do it all, so I'm going to have the branched chain amino acids, but I prefer you eat your protein. Huge, because people are not eating enough. So first, get yourself up to the amount you should be eating, then we'll consider extra, like supplementation. So just know it's the psychology that bothers me. People that are more than down to take something, but you're not working as hard as you could, and you're not cutting your diet out at all. Like, your diet looks like shit, but you want to start taking a protein powder. Stop that. Now, in my experience, I've taken even less protein than I have ever in my history of 10 plus 15 years. 15 years of just working out, working hard. I've taken the least amount of protein. I've gotten the most amount of results recently. Now, branched chain amino acids are present, but I'm finally getting my diet in check. Wow, who would have thought? Who would have thought? This is my advice to you. Know about those eggs. I'm gonna put that link in the bottom. You gotta bump up your eggs. Now, if you're looking for entertainment in your diet, that's another thing, because I eat a lot of eggs. I'll eat an omelet in the morning and an omelet late at night. That's 5 and 5. That's damn near 10 eggs. And sometimes that's 4 and 3, 4 and 3. So anywhere from 6 to 10 eggs a day. Cheap, effective protein. Way more effective and cost effective than a protein powder. Come on. So, and I love tasting eggs, but that's neither here nor there. Make yourself some eggs, okay? Get you some protein that's meant to be in your body. Stop being so willing to take something, but you haven't even figured out the number one pillars yet, the number one priorities where you can get the most amount of results. That's what you should be asking me, your coach, your trainer, is what can I do first that's gonna get me the most amount of results? I'm gonna do that first. Like biggest slices of the pie. Eat more eggs. Stop focusing on protein powder. I found out it works great because you gotta get your diet in check. You should not be adding things in, you should be taking things out. Until you got a control on yourself. You're out of control. You're out of control. And most people I see, people who go to the gym every damn day, these are normal gym people, still out of control. And that's why they gotta go to the gym every day. And they freak out when they don't have a great workout. It's like, you needed that workout, didn't you? Because your diet's so shit, you don't even have that under control. You should be able to lose weight and build muscle more or less with your diet first, then exercise is like the cream on the top that gives you the obvious results, especially when it comes to losing weight. Your diet should be able to do it by yourself. And then you work out, it's like an extra. But people rely so much on their workouts to lose weight. It's because their diet's not in check. Let's get that in check, right? We gotta control ourselves. A lot of people are out of control. And stop trying to put protein powder on top of your problems. It's not gonna fix it. It's my advice to you. Branched chain amino acids are coming soon. I'm gonna get the flavors right, and I want them to be something that you can kind of take instead of drinking water. It's just kind of like a fun, good drink to drink. And you know how branched chain amino acids are. It's usually fruity flavors. It's different than protein. They mix up well, and they usually taste great. So I'm excited about that because it's more or less just water with that supplement in it. And you can drink it any time of day, and people will probably enjoy drinking it. So I want to get that right, and it will help you build muscle and recover. That's a different take. Most people say protein powder, creatine. Yes, creatine. Protein powder are the number one. That's the number one thing you should be taking right away. You want to build muscle, but that's the reason why you see guys. You can't really tell if they're muscular or not. They look like guys. Let's just call it that. They look like guys are in the gym, but they've got they go to do a bench press and their belly's hanging out of their shirt. It's like, okay, you're good at the bench press, but you got a big ass belly. Like, what's the point? Let's find some middle ground, at least, control yourself, get your shit in check. I know guys are typically wanting to go do weights and they don't really want to move back and forth and do burpees and run. And that's why most of our members are women, because they say, yes, I want help and I will allow you to tell me what to do. Guys are like, I'd rather just go hit the weights. But low key, that's an excuse not to work hard. That's an excuse not to work on your cardio. And that's an excuse not to be out of your comfort zone and breathing heavy. And you look kind of ugly when you're doing it. And you got too much pride to have someone tell you what to do or push you or to say I need help or to submit yourself to coaching. That's why women are getting better results right now. Women are beating the guys because they want to just lay down on a bench press and get strong, but not really, it's just like a hobby for most guys. And I see guys that work out regularly, they're doing good, but I don't see when someone's doing good. I see all the things I'm so excited I can help them with. Your potential. I see your potential. It don't matter who you are. 500 pounds, if you're a hard gainer, you're 98 pounds, you're trying to build muscle. I see the potential because I know all the things you're not doing correctly. And if you will trust me, if you'll let me push you, that's what this is about. If you'll let me push you and give you some advice that I know you're not taking, because to do it on your own, people will not take this advice. It's hard. You've got to have accountability and you've got to have a drive, a pusher. That's me. Allow me to do that and I can get you to the next level. It doesn't matter if you're an elite athlete. That's why they have trainers, is because someone can push you farther than you can push you. I could watch your form. I could keep your intensity. I can let you not even take a breath. I could stay on you the whole time. You're not going to do that by yourself. And you're not going to take certain diet advices of yourself when it's just all up to you. My advice, don't worry about the protein. Eat it. BCAAs, I suggest it. Creatine, I require it. Lots more advice coming soon, you guys. Just a quick rant. See you guys soon.